Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I am of course Legacy Trainer, and thank you so much guys for checking out this YouTube video. I appreciate it so very much. And guys, if you are new to this channel, please go ahead and hit the like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications. Leave me some comments in the comment section below. Follow me of course on the social medias on Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave links in the description below. Not to mention, don't forget guys, we are on Twitch. We're doing lots of live streaming with Minecraft, League of Legends, Pokemon Unite, much more in the future. And don't forget, we also are on TikTok, so go ahead and check out those amazing TikTok videos. And guys, without further ado, let's jump right into today's Pokemon Unite video. Hey guys, I've been playing Pokemon Unite for a little while now, and I've been enjoying the game a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's, it's pretty cool. You got two up top, you got two at the bottom, you got one in the middle, and your versus a 5-on-5 team battle, which is amazing. The biggest problem I find is the etiquette in the game. It's the hardest thing that I seem to run across a lot. For instance, if we talk about the top lane, when you're running to top lane, it's almost like you're one person is always trying to hog so much of the farm, as opposed to, you run up, you have the first one at the start, then you go 2 and 2, and it's like, I don't know how it's not easy for your teams to sit there and allow you to, if you got two going at top, one takes the first one, then you just go, one gets the other one gets the next one gets the other one gets the next one, boom, and you go like that to sit there and level up. Because, let's face it, it's a 5-on-5 game, so if the other team is more on par than you, then they're going to have a much better advantage over you than you guys over them. And the worst part is, doing this kind of thing only weakens your team in the grand scheme, basically. Because if you sit there and let's say we're just going to use top lane. Let's say you've got a Glaceon and a Mew. If the Mew gets all the farm, the Glaceon is not going to evolve fast enough from the Eevee to the Glaceon, and on top of that is going to be well under-farmed. So then late game and everything, that Glaceon is going to be weaker to the other enemy teams, which means more than likely they're going to focus that person, knock that person down first, because it's going to be the easiest to take out, and then focus on the Mew. Or even in the team fights, they're going to focus the Glaceon first, get the Glaceon out of the way, and then wipe the rest of the team, unfortunately. And I mean, it does happen quite a lot. I mean, it's sad sometimes, even in my matches, even jungle, but I'll talk about jungle after. We're gonna go to the bot lane, and the same thing applies to the bot lane as it applies to the top lane. There's two of them down there, and they're supposed to kind of try to share the kills so that they can both be good in the lanes, because again, same thing that happens in top happens in bottom. If one gets fed, the other one doesn't, then the other one's going to be weaker in late game and plus early game too, and is going to die more. So it's really the biggest thing I can stress to you guys about these games, like anything to do with 5v5 games, anything that requires a team game, and especially like people do not understand that it's a team-based game, so you need your team. There's nothing to say other than that you're playing a 5v5 team game, which means you need the team. So why do you want to hurt your team and then get the loss? I mean, it's just crazy, honestly, and especially like with all the different ways to get farm now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, there's even like idling in the game or going AFK. And that's really crazy too, because it's like you'll be sitting there playing, and then all of a sudden one of your teammates goes back to base, and he's just sitting there. He's just giving up. And it's like, what? Come on, man. We can fight back this. We can win this. And, a lot of the times the teams just... some of those... I don't know. Maybe it's a 50-50, I'll say. Because some of them will fight back and try for the win. Others are just like, we're done. Let's just move on to the next match. And it's like, really? Really? And you're just like, oh my gosh. So this is why I'm talking about this etiquette thing. Because I really want to see I don't know if this video will do that good or not, but I just want to see if, you know, maybe me putting this out there might encourage more people to be like, hey, you know, I was sitting there, you know, I was taking all the farm, and I didn't care whose farm I took. I was just taking it all, and, you know, maybe they'll be like, maybe that's why we lost, you know, maybe that's the reason, you know. And, like, especially at the start of the game, the farm is very important because, you know, well, we'll use the top lane, Glaceon and Mew. Yeah, can't even talk today. Glaceon and Mew. You need a certain amount of kills or XP in order to level up. So, an example, Glaceon is a Mew, or starts off as an Eevee, goes into Glaceon. So if that Eevee doesn't get enough XP to level up, you're gonna have the Eevee versus whoever else you're versus, but they could both be evolved. So then it's like second or third evolutions versus a just regular evolution. It's like, yeah, that doesn't end too well, not at all. And then, guys, let me get to the jungle aspect of the game. The jungle, or but I don't get this one. So it's either jungle or mid, but people are calling it jungle, others are calling it mid. I find, especially for me playing mid, I find it can be a very toxic area to play in because of the fact that, you know, there's a lot of the time that, for instance, sometimes you'll get invaded by the enemy team's jungler, and that sometimes happens. And, you know, there's not a lot you can do. You can, you know, you gotta try to fight off their jungler, and hopefully you're able to kill their jungler, and that way then you can go to doing your jungle and get moving. But a lot of the time I find, even in my matches, whether it be ranked or normals, my teammates will literally come into my jungle and they will start taking my farm. And it's crazy because sometimes it happens right at the start, and just like top and bottom really need their XP and their farm, jungler needs his XP too, because when you think about it, if you sit there and start the game off and you take your jungler's farm right off the bat, whether it be the top of the farm, the bottom of the farm, wherever in the farm, you take his farm, he's going to be underleveled, and being the speedster of the group, he's not going to be able to dash up to top or dash up to bottom, down to bottom. He's going to be underleveled, so he's going to be like, you know what, well, you've taken my farm, now I have to figure out a way to get my farm, so I'm going to have to go bottom and steal some farm from bottom. I'll have to go to top to steal some farm from top. Or, you know, I'll just have to see if I can counter their jungler and go into their jungle and see if I can get some farm from there. And you know what? That is one of the hardest things to do, because if you end up making the judgment call to sit there and go to the enemy team's jungle, if they've already taken their jungler, or if they've already taken their jungle, they're already well ahead of you. So if you show up to try to get it, and all of it's gone, you've just put yourself in the worst situation, because if the jungler comes out and gets you, you're done. And then on top of that, you're even more farther behind, because now you've got the death on you, so you've had to wait the extra seconds to go back, and that jungler's had enough time to say, hey, this person's dead, I can roam into his jungle. And if your jungle has already respawned, because a lot of the jungle stuff respawns very fast and comes back quickly. So if that happens, then not only are you going to go to try to get your jungle, but then you're going to see his junglers in your jungle, and also he's already far ahead of you. You can try to take him out, but he's probably going to take you out, and then you're down even more. And so that's the biggest thing, like, when your team ends up messing you up, it can royally, like, just snowball effect downhill. And I honestly don't understand why people would even start taking their jungler's farm, especially at the start of the game. I can understand late game, because it does happen in all sorts of different games, whether you're playing 5v5, where, you know, right off the bat, you're going to help your jungler to get quick farm for him. And then you're going to go into his jungle later on and grab whatever buff you want. That happens late game, that's fine. But not to start it off at the start of the game, because when you start it off at the start, you've basically crippled your jungler a little bit, because then he can't do what he can normally do if he gets a full jungle. And it's really sad, because then it just spirals down, and you know, sometimes your jungler can recover depending, but it's very, very difficult and very, very hard. Other times he can't recover from it, and then it just turns into a 4v5 basically match, and then you guys end up losing, and then, you know, it's no fun for anybody for getting a loss. Everybody wants the wins, but you know, you can't get them all the time. But to sit there and have somebody take your farm on you, it really hurts people. People are just like, you know, why did this have to happen? This was my own teammate taking my stuff. It's crazy. And don't forget, guys, with all the different farm you can get in Pokemon Unite, there's a big thing, is the timings on everything. Everything has a certain time frame for when it will respawn when you hit it. So example, for Altaria, right off the bat, when Altaria gets taken down, it spawns at 850, 720, 550, 420, 120, and 250. So those will be all the times that the Altarias will spawn for top and bottom. So if you know this, that gives you an advantage, because you can be like, okay, I'm going to dash off here, go help them, get back there, Altaria will be spawning, boom, I can go ahead and get it. And then on top of that, it spawns for jungle at 8 minutes. So knowing the times is a big thing for Pokemon Unite. Not the biggest thing in the world, but it is an advantage. If you know when stuff's gonna spawn, you know when to get back there to get it. And like example, the Baltoys, they spawn at 9:45, 9:40, 9:10, and 9 o'clock. And then, of course, guys, we have the bosses. We have the Reggies. We have Regirock, Registeel, Regieleki, and Regice. So the 4 Reggies we have, which is really good. And, you know, each Reggie gives you different points, of course. Each Reggie, well, actually, technically they all give you the same points, and they all have the same spawn time, and they also have all the respawn time. So they're all across the board. They're 20 points for you. So it doesn't matter which one, I guess, you get, but the more you get, the more points you get, right? And I mean, that's a big thing too with the teams. When you guys know that, okay, Reggie Rock, Registeel, Reggie whatever is going to spawn in 7 minutes, you know, you kind of make it a point to be like, all right, we're going to be down at bottom at this time so that we can go for this. You know, it all depends, because sometimes, you know, even for me being a jungler, I jungle with Absol or Decidueye or Glaceon, you know, sometimes depending on how good I'm doing, I can solo that, which is amazing. So sometimes you don't need your whole team. But the big thing about these situations is planning it out, because obviously before we had the Rotom was at top, and then Dreadnought was at the bottom, and you know, hi there, you would sit there and you would get Rotom first, because Rotom was the big thing, and then you would go work towards getting the Dreadnought. And that hasn't really changed from the way this game works, because now with the new map and the new bosses and stuff in the game, you still want to go for the top Rotom, or Regieleki, whatever it is, the top Reggie. Anyway, you excuse me, you want to go for the top one, of course, because the top one is the one that's basically going to start pushing into the enemy's base, and you want that one. So seeing that it spawns in 7 minutes, you want to sit there and quickly, whether you're the jungler or the top laner or whatever, you want to quickly get your farm as much as you can, and then you want to head up there to help out. And I mean, a lot of the time, it really doesn't ever happen where your whole team shows up. I've had a few times where, you know, I'll be playing, and it's like, alright, here it goes, let's go get it. And 2 of us start going towards it, and then the rest of the team just flutters in, and it's just like, alright, we're getting this. This is awesome. So, and then we get it, you know. Or if we're at bottom lane, and Regice is spawned, I mean, I'll run down to get it. I'll do a little pinging, seeing this get people to come down here. And you know what? The pinging on the system is, it's crazy, because you know what? You can ping as much as you want, and sometimes people don't even come down to help or anything, or they don't care. And then you're either trying to do it by yourself, and you're able to do it by yourself, which is kudos to you, or you end up dying because nobody came to help you. Or, now here's the worst part, even though dying is bad too, is if you get the thing all the way down, and you only need one hit left, and then all of a sudden the enemy team shows up and you're basically dead, but you're trying to get the last hit, and they kill you, and then they get it. Then it's like, oh, first they killed you, and then they got the 30 points. Or sorry, the 20 points for it. And it's like, oh, really? And then the worst part to see from that is your team was right above you, and they just didn't want to come down. It's like, oh, thanks, guys. And then moving right along to the main boss at late game, Rayquaza. When Rayquaza spawns, it's just like what it was before when Zapdos spawned. However, they did change a lot. Like, Zapdos being gone makes it where it's not like, you know, if when Zapdos was around, it was basically like, hey, we can be losing the entire game, but all we need to do is get Zapdos, and we can literally turn the game around. So now that's not as much as it is now. I think you get like 30 points from Rayquaza, and but it is still an objective that you need to get, and that's the biggest thing here, guys. Is objectives are a thing of this game. Doesn't matter what game you're playing, what kind of 5v5 game or 3v3, there is objectives in this game for a reason. And if you can complete the objective, that gives you more points on top of the points you're scoring, you know, so it does add up. And getting Rayquaza is a big thing. It does help you. And, you know, when you're sitting there getting ready for Rayquaza to spawn, you need to get in there. And Rayquaza spawns at 2 minutes. So, and it'll pop up, it'll start to tick down, and you need to be like, okay, we need to be here, set up, get ready to hit this and try to get it, so that we get those points. And it is, getting kills is fun. If you can sit there and by the end of the game you look at your score and you're like, yep, I got 20 kills, yeah, you know, that's great. It's amazing. But the hardest thing for people to realize is that the kills don't win the game. Sure, it definitely helps and it makes you very unstoppable in game, but the whole point of the game is getting the dunks. If you know, the scoring is what wins the game. It's not the kills that win the game, unfortunately. It does help. Getting lots of kills does help the game, and it does make the game go pretty nicely sometimes, you know? But it doesn't win the games. You can get 20 kills and then you can lose the game. And it's like, oh, we got 20 kills and we still lost? Like, why? So, definitely remember that. And you know what? Every dunk helps. Doesn't matter if you're dunking 5 points or 6 points, you know, or 100 points. Each dunk helps, and, you know, just drop off when you can, because the more you drop, the more you have a chance at winning. So I think the biggest thing to take away from this, guys, is it is a 5-on-5 game. So even when you solo up, it's nice to have the respect. You give the respect, you get the respect back. And that's the biggest thing, because if you guys are all on par, you're all doing your job, you're sharing the farm, every one of your teammates is going to get better and better and stronger, and then as a team, you'll take that W. That's the key, is a teamwork for a team game. And, you know, I think the worst part in the game is when you're playing and then all of a sudden somebody on your team just gives up and they just go AFK. And what AFK means is they stop playing the game, or they leave the game, and their character just instantly returns to the base area, and then it becomes a 4v5 game, and those games are never fun. It's really sad when that happens. And not to mention there's other ones where, you know, the team after a few minutes they just want to give up. And it's like, what? why do you want to give up? We can come back for this. And it's like, no, it's just over. Let's just quit and go to the next game. And it's like, if you don't want to win, you don't want to fight for that victory. I mean, yes, of course, there is reasonable doubt, and reasons to give up at certain points. Like, if you've got like a minute left in the game, and they've already got Rayquaza, and they've already dunked, I don't know, way over the amount that it's going to take for you to make the comeback, then maybe. So yeah, if you're playing the game and the enemy team's ahead by 20 points or something like that, and your team's starting to surrender, you guys can still make those 20 points back and win or even take the lead. So it's kind of a 50-50 on the team's base. If everybody decides, if 4 of you guys decide to give up, then obviously the game's over. But if just one person decides to give up and the rest of the team says no, then you still have a fighting chance, and you need to fight for that victory. You know what? Getting an easy win is easy. But getting a win where you've had to actually work for it, whether you be playing a 5v5 game or a 3v3 game, getting a win where you've literally had to fight tooth and nail for that victory is well worth it than just getting an easy win. Every time. When you're sitting there playing, and this does happen in any kind of 5v5 game, you can be sitting there playing the game, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, whether the person just decided to leave, whether their internet got crashed or something happened or whatever, a character goes AFK on you. And right away, everybody's freaking out. They're like, oh my god, why is this happening? We have a disconnector, or somebody just left the game, and now it's 4v5. And it's like, oh my god, we've lost. Well, let's just give up. And it's like, no. It is a lot harder, and it is a definite big challenge for you guys to come back from a 4v5. But you can do it if your team is good enough. I've done it before in Pokemon Unite. I've done it before in League of Legends. And, it is possible to come back from 4v5s. However, if your team has been if your whole lanes have been feeding and everybody's been dying, and they've gotten all the objectives and stuff like that, and they just got their Rayquaza, and, stuff like that, maybe not possible. And one final thing, guys, is today, Dugtrio is now live in Pokemon Unite. So if you guys are interested, go ahead, buy that Pokemon, try him out, see how good he is, and who knows, you might like him, you might not. I gotta do it. I gotta go and try him out. He is actually a speedster, so you never know. And guys, don't forget that we will be having Clefable and Scizor coming to Pokemon Unite in the future. So it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for Scizor for sure. Scizor is amazing, and especially it'll be interesting to see, because I don't know if they're going to do any kind of cool changes with Scizor or what, but I'm really excited to see them come. So let me know, guys, in the comment section, what do you guys think of Pokemon Unite, and what did you guys think of this video? I hope this video does help you guys, and I hope it helps other people, so that, we can maybe change the game a little bit and make it more about a team-based game, instead of other people being like, it's all about me, I gotta get the kills, gotta steal all the farm, So, guys, if you guys are still new to this channel, please go ahead and hit the like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications. Leave me some comments in the comment section below. Follow me, of course, on the social medias on Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave links in the description below. Not to mention, guys, don't forget to check me out on Twitch, where we'll be doing lots of live streaming like Pokemon Unite, much more in the future. And don't forget, we are also on the TikTok, so go ahead and check out those wonderful TikTok videos. And until next time, guys, please take care, stay safe, have fun, and bye-bye.